Now, before I begin, let me just say I'm not one of these people who talks about, the morality of humanity. That kind of a hellfire and brimstone, Elmer Gantry kind of evangelical stuff. I've been hearing this my whole life. Well, not personally, but, talk radio's always been especially conservative talk radio's always been the magnet for hyper-moralistic people whose own personal lives are more depraved than anything you can imagine. So I'm not talking about this. But I am talking about how we are seeing not just a diminution of reality, but in a controlled and systematic depravity and absence of anything even remotely resembling moral integrity that can affect a system and a republic. That's what I'm talking about. I just want you to understand something. I personally, whatever an individual's private life is, and I know people say this, but I mean it. Whatever you want to do in the privacy of the backseat of your car and an adult and something consensual, I don't care if you smear Bing cherries and cream cheese on parts of your body and squat over a goldfish bowl. It doesn't matter to me. What I'm talking about is how things affect a republic. And I will explain that. But first, I got to tell you one thing, which is the most important, which is news that is so terrific. Years ago, somebody came up with this idea that people who store food are crazy. Now, some people can be crazy and store food. Some people can be crazy and like the Beatles. Some people can be crazy and watch professional wrestling or like Shakespeare. So being crazy doesn't necessarily invalidate the underlying behavior that is being referenced. But I'm telling you right now, My Patriot Supply is the preeminent national producer of emergency food and food preparedness. And right now, if you go to preparewithlionel.com, this link that I provided, preparewithlionel.com, listen to me carefully. You can get a 3-month emergency food supply and save $200. We're talking 2,000 calories a day, 21 varieties, up to a 25-year shelf life. Tasty breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, snacks, resealable 4-layer pouches with oxygen absorbers, 120 pounds of food, storable for 25 years. You buy it once, you put it there, and you're good. You're golden. 6 rugged, water-resistant buckets, perfectly stackable and modular, free shipping, and it's shipped to you without any kind of markings, so your neighbors don't know what you're after. Why? Can you say Hunger Games? That's all I'm going to say. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. This makes so much sense. Take advantage of this deal now. It's axiomatic, okay? That means obvious. Okay. What we are seeing right now is a level of debauchery, a level of moralistic putrescence, sexual satirism, that's such a word, this profligacy, this Caligula-like, but also this demented objectification and targeting of individuals and using sex and sexual predilections and sexual predation as a means of weaponry. We're seeing everything being destroyed at every level there is. Did you ever think, listen, you can argue all you want about gender and what makes somebody one thing. And from an individual point of view, have at it. Good for you. I get it. I dig it. We're not talking about that. What we are talking about is something on a different level, though. We're talking about something that basically is erasing the notion of children, erasing the status of minor versus adult versus consent differences. We're erasing the status of gender for purposes of sports performance. We're erasing any kind of historic, social distinction, status, platform, whatever you want to call it. to the point where it's not showing this open-ended wisdom in terms of acceptance of alternatives. No, that's one thing. It's one thing for me to say, I accept you as a black person, a white person, or an Asian person. It's one thing for me to say rights apply to you as they do me. It's another thing for me to say there is no such thing as the African American status or Asian. Your culture, your distinction, your race, your history, your ideals, your customs, your identity, that's gone. Did you see what I just did? I just erased you. In the name of equality, I've erased you. You don't exist. Come on in. Everybody's the same. You don't have any status anymore. You don't have heterogeneity is the goal, not homogeneity to the point of erasing and destroying that which makes us distinct and separate and equal. I sound like Plessy against Ferguson. But we always wanted to be the melting pot, not the end result where everybody was kind of like amalgamated into this one construct, this one unit, this one orb of uniform substance. We don't want to lose that which makes who we are. I live in New York City, and I will tell you that this city still, despite what people say, thrives by virtue of its cultural and social heterogeneity, the differences in language, food, culture, perspective, histories, art, clothing, phrases, style, expressions, you name it, music. I don't ever want to see those differences extinguished, flattened out, ground into this uniform particle board of unimportant equality. Equality is one thing, but equality to the point where you can't distinguish anymore the differences that didn't separate, but differences that made us stronger, that made us neat, made us interesting, made us vibrant, made us cool, as the kids say. This is where we are right now. Throw into the mix the idea when it comes to morality, sexual. Here's one for you. Here's a word. Please find this word for me. Find this word. Modesty. Morality. What? What is modesty? What does modesty even connote anymore? It's one of these archaic words. It's like minuet. What is that? What does that mean? Decorum. What? Manners. I don't know what these words mean. This is something that we're saying. And I'm not, believe me, I'm not one of these. I don't want to live in some, not Elizabethan, but this Victorian era where I'm not saying that. But what I want to do is two things. Number one, I want to make sure that we represent the fact that there is order and beauty and respect and grace and elegance and style and panache that I hope we never get rid of. Not being hoity-toity. Sexual obscurantism. This idea that when it comes to either sexual behavior or sexual identity in terms of gender, nothing goes anymore. There are no distinctions. Oh, no. Equality versus equivalent. Equivalent and equity, which you know what that's become. Equity now is a term that means adjusting the results and adjusting the statistics in order to get a result. Versus equality, where everybody starts off equal and we play by the same rules. This is not some fuddy-duddy talking. If you lose the aforementioned, if you ever completely go to what I've just described, you will lose everything. All right, dear friends, remember, there's going to be a time when you're going to thank your lucky stars you used preparewithlionel.com and took advantage of this incredible savings right now for preparedness, for food, for emergency food in the event, not in the event, but for when emergency food is required. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my channel, and also hit that notification bell so you're aware of new videos and live streams, and comment as you see fit.